What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang? This is your boy Niner Gang Podcast back in the building with another video. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it. As you can see, I am not alone. Today I got my buddy, my friend, that's my primo right there. You know what I'm saying? We're cousins.
Right.
Beto is in the house from Niner Sickness Podcast. What's going on, Beto?
What's up, Dion? A pleasure to be here with you today, man. Talk some deep backs. We're gonna have some fun. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, man. This is gonna be great, man. And this will be the first time I can get Beto on the we'll get Beto on the get the fuck out of here segment. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do that, man. And then just to let you know as well, Beto, I am gonna be doing some shows where I'll do like cross shows with other content creators from the NFC West. So I'm gonna try to make sure I get me a Cardinals person. I already got my Seahawks guy. Shout out to Steezy A. Smith. And then I'll get somebody from the Lamb Chops and see if I get Rudy in there or something. You know, we'll chop it up. Hey, Mom. Mose, what's going on, man? Nothing but love, man. Shout out to Mose. Shout out to the Nitty Gritty fam over there. That's all love. Going on. We got Throwback in the building. B-Dubs in the building. Roy Boy, what's happening? Sin, what's going on? So, yeah, man, I want to make sure I do that, just to kind of keep things going because this is going to be pretty dry, throughout the rest of this month because we don't have much to talk about. Training camp will come in probably about mid-April and whatnot, so we should be good.
When you do that, let me know. I'll make you an admin on my Facebook because I have a NFC West channel, so you can put your lives in there.
Oh, cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Y'all ain't noticed, man. I live in Arizona. It's hot as fuck out here, man. Summer is definitely here. That's why I look like I'm shiny as shit.
How hot is it right now over there?
118.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And I'm complaining about, let's see, what am I complaining about today?
Yeah,
I'm inside the AC, but what am I complaining about today?
Oh, I'm even in the AC. It's still hot than a motherfucker. Like you got it.
It's 106 here, bro, and I'm like complaining. 118.
Oh nah, bro. Yeah, but you in Cali, right?
Yeah.
And see, you got a breeze.
Oh yeah.
You got the ocean. You got a little bit of like the 106 out there is different. Like us, it feels like it's like you just baked the turkey and you open the oven.
Well, I'm in the valley, so we're not close to.
Oh yeah, no, the valley. Yeah, then then you understand. Yeah, because the valley is it's messed up.
Nowhere near Arizona though. So.
Oh nah, yeah, our heat is completely different, bro. Yes, and it is oddly enough. Yes, Brandon, it is a hot breeze right now. So you just think of hot air just blowing every fucking where. It's unruly. But either way,
I've been to Texas, bro, in Mexico. Those places are humid.
Yeah, very, very humid. Yeah. What did he say? Oh, okay. So, 118. He said that boy out here, fool. He said, "Fucking kill me dead." Nah, man. I forgot there's a town out here that literally reaches like almost to 130 somewhere in Arizona. I forgot where it is, and people live there, and I have no idea how the fuck they do because I wouldn't even walk. I'd look and be like, I'm working from home. You can't come in the office. The fuck, my tires melted. Literally can't go anywhere. Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. See, look, Throwback in 72 degrees. Shit, I need to be where you at, man. That's better. But either way,
72. Oh my goodness.
And then my mom, my mom is in 83-degree weather. But I mean, hell, that's what happens when you live in LA. So either way, let's get on to the show, man. This is going to be fun because we're talking about my favorite position. When I do these shows, I always start from the bottom and go to the top. So we're not going to talk about Mooney first. Why? Because we already know who he is. We already know what he does, and we'll see what goes on. It's crazy, man. That the Valley Heat in California is very similar to what you get in Arizona. Guaranteed. Very, very similar to what you get in Arizona. But yeah, man, we got some DBs here. We got a couple of guys we're gonna talk about. Some unknown dudes and a couple of dudes that we already are well aware of. The first guy on the list is this guy, D'Shawn Jamison. This guy, I'm not sure much about him, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna take a look at him real quick, see if I can snag his stats and what he did. Let's see what we got. Let's go stats. Come on now, system. Work with me here. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying this little 1080p thing that they got for us on StreamYard. So feels like the camera is nice and crisp. You know, they're like, we require a strong internet connection. It's like, well, shit, man. As much as I'm paying for this damn internet, this shit better be good. So, so Deshaun Jameson looks like he's 5'10", 190. That's your prototypical kind of slot DB height right there. You know what I mean? Not a dude that's that crazy. Okay, Throwback is telling me some stuff. Let's see what we got here. He says he watched a ton of tape on him. He looks good on special teams and always on the ball. That's a good thing. That's what you want. You know, you want a DB who's around the ball, who can do some things. So looks like he stayed relatively healthy throughout his college career, played no less than 10 games each year. Let's see what he's got. Looks like his tackles are so-so, kind of relegated a little bit to a special teams kind of situation. He only has 1 sack. He's got 6 career interceptions, though, which is pretty good for a guy coming out of college. Typically, Texas breeds some fairly nice DBs. What's your thoughts on them?
Honestly, I don't know too much about him. So the fact that I'm just going based off what you're reading on him. 6 INTs is nice coming out of college, but the sacks, I don't know. He's probably one of those just making the 83 or whatever they have up there when they start training camp. I don't.
I think it's what 90 man. I think it's still 90
man.
Right?
Thank you. Yeah, the 90-man roster fill in. I don't think he would be someone that we'll be even talking about once training camp is ending.
And I didn't hear much about him during OTAs and when they had the rookie mini camps and stuff. So that just tells you, what I'm saying, guys there. He lucked out and wound up getting himself like a little spot on the squad. Not much to really be said, but it kind of seems more so like leaning more toward camp body rather than guy who actually makes the squad. Now we got another kid here that I am not very familiar on, but I'm gonna figure him out. His name is AJ Parker. And let's see what we got on this guy. All right. Let's see what we got as far as like height and weight. So he's 5'11", 178. So he's only an inch taller than Deshaun, and he's a little bit smaller than him. AJ Parker went to he was playing with Detroit. Okay. So he played with the Lions last year.
He's a Kansas State guy.
Yeah, he played 7 games with the Lions in 2021. He didn't play at all in 2022. Doesn't really have any stats or anything. So, I mean, this guy unfortunately seems like another camp body. Just when you don't have any stats, when you never played, they may bring you in because they think you're good at special teams or something. But you're going to have to wow those coaches to be able to unseat people that are technically already ahead of you on the depth chart. I did want to ask you something, Beto. They always say, nobody's position is solidified, nobody's position is safe. I find that to be bullshit. I really do. I feel like that's something for the media. Because anybody with the brain in their head knows that no one's starting at left tackle over Trent Williams. Like, no one's starting at center over Jake Brendel. You know what I mean?
Starting at DN for Bosa either.
Right. So, like, for me, my number one thing with that is, Kyle, come on, man. You got to stop, bro. You got to stop. You want to pull the wool over a 2-year-old's eyes, you're good. But we as Niner fans are so invested in this goddamn team that we know it's not a game. You know what I'm saying? Brian, if you got a chance, man, if you want to come through, just look in the group chat. YouTube Bashar, if you have the opportunity. But it's like, for me, I always look at that and I go, why do you keep saying that nobody's position is solidified? We know CMC is the starter. The only position right now that honestly could maybe be up in the air, and I really don't think it's up in the air, is quarterback. And it's just quarterback is just this simple. if Brock's healthy, he's the starter. If he's healthy, he's ready to go. They feel comfortable with him. They've seen what they need to see. No problems, no setbacks, no issues. He's the starter. Why? Kyle has seen all he's needed to see.
Yep.
But next year, Kyle's man crush is going to be on the market.
Oh, don't mention the devil's name, bro.
Yeah, so I got to ask you really quick, even though we're talking about DBs, I got to throw this out there, man. Do you think that he pursues his boyfriend and goes and gets his man?
It's really, I'm not even going to put it up to Kyle on this one. Dion, I'm going to put it on Brock Purdy, or I'm going to put it on Lance shoulders. Oh, even freaking Darnold.
Okay.
Because if any of these quarterbacks, if we are able to go with Lance, and Lance is able to prove everybody that he is the guy here, or Brock Purdy comes back healthy and he handles it very well and does it very good for us, then I don't see Kirk Cousins even stepping here. But if Purdy struggles, if Lance is not the guy that we think, and freaking Darnold is throwing interceptions here and there, and we're like, oh crap, and then you got Brandon Allen that he's the best he can be is a backup, then that meter of percentage to go get Cousins just goes up higher. So I'm really rooting for Brock or Lance for the fact that if they do well, Kirk is not coming. If they don't do well, then yes, that man crush will get bigger for Kyle, and he will bring in that guy. And we might as well have no freaking games that are prime time, because this guy can't.
Yeah, he falters. So I agree with you on that. And I mean, my sentiments are exactly that. Yeah, you basically, Purdy would have to fall flat on his face. Lance would have to shit the bed. And I mean, Darnold's a USC quarterback, so we already know he's trash.
Yeah.
That's just I will never come off that until a USC quarterback finally wins a Super Bowl or does something meaningful in the NFL. No one can tell me anything. That's one thing I can hold over USC fans is your quarterbacks go to the NFL and they look like trash. You know, they look good, but they never win anything. So for me, man, I gotta agree with you. Yeah, they just basically have to just fail, and I'm curious to see how the fans react when Brock has a bad game, because he will. It's inevitable. Like, it's inevitable. Everybody has a bad game. I'm telling you right now, Tom Brady has a bad game.
But he's gonna have
Tom Brady has some shitty games. So did Peyton Manning. So did Drew Brees. All of these quarterbacks that people love. These people remember Peyton Manning, greatest regular season quarterback ever, started off 4-11.
Yep.
4-11. I think he set the rookie record for interceptions.
Yeah, that year.
Yeah. So people don't think the number one thing that I hate for the knock on Lance, honestly, is just the fact that people won't give him an opportunity to show you what he's got and who he is. And if you give him that opportunity and you have a full season of film, okay. Now you can say, okay, well, I've seen at least a full season from this guy. I know I've seen this, and this. This tells me how I should feel. But when you automatically go and you just assume that, well, he's not the guy, he's not this, he's not. No, it's not that. It's just the fact that you had a dude come in and do some shit that we ain't seen in a long time. I give Brock his props. He did some fantastic things. You know what I'm saying? I always caution people. Remember, he's going to come to earth at some point. There's going to be interceptions. There's going to be missed throws. There's going to be things that we may or may not like. But these things are going to happen. And you can't expect him to just be always perfect, because it doesn't work like that. Tom Brady went perfect through the whole season and the playoffs and lost in the biggest game of them all.
Yeah, there's going to be a few games that he's not going to look Purdy.
Yeah. And it's not that I want him to fail. I don't want him to look bad. Hell, he's playing for my team. He's a starting guy. I want him to look good, goddammit. I can just say, I like calling him Glock Purdy. I've got got some of my friends out here with the AZ Niner Empire. They call them BCB. And I can't do that because I'm not speaking on another man's manhood and calling his manhood a goddamn thing. It's not my lane. If that's your lane, by all means, you have fun with that. It's not for me. But back to these defensive backs.
Real quick before we move, just with Brock Purdy, he's going to have bad games. We know this. What I'm looking at, and hopefully, is how he bounces back from a bad game. When you face adversity, how do you deal with it? How do you process it? What do you do to improve? Do you wallow in it? Do you sit there and go, oh, man? Or do you just have, quick memory loss and let it get behind you and try to improve? That's what I want to see from Brock. But definitely, he's going to have those games. Can he step up the following game? Or is he going to sit there and just, wallow in that game? That's what I want to see from the young kid. Because he hasn't hit adversity yet, other than the injury. But he hasn't had a loss a game that he started and finished. So we'll see what happens. Very
much so, man. And when I say the things that I say, I don't want people to think that I don't like Brock Purdy, because I do. I am a Trey Lance supporter. I do hope that, if anything, he does wind up getting himself that opportunity. But in that same vein, it doesn't, to me, make a difference. Like, honestly, I've said very, very strongly, if I'm Trey Lance, and they say, hey, man, Brock's our guy, he's going to be the starter, I want out. I don't want to continue to sit, because the more years that I sit, the less competition that I can play against. I don't get any experience. I'm just here. I'm just a body. It doesn't. Hey, what's going on, Kelts? What's going on, Rich? But I was saying, because a lot of people were saying to me that, because a lot of people were saying basically like, hey, well, you want to give it to Shanahan. Who would you replace him with? I'm like, I have Trey Lance. Eric Bieniemy is an offensive coordinator. You see what happened with Patrick Mahomes when Bieniemy and Andy Reid were there. I wouldn't mind seeing Eric Bieniemy here in San Francisco and turning Trey Lance into the next Pat Mahomes. I do feel that he can be that guy. One thing really quick on Lance is a lot of people are saying lately is that the 49ers underestimated his athleticism. And I don't think they underestimated his athleticism. I think that Kyle just is he's not good with a mobile quarterback. Like, it's not his thing. His system isn't built for that. Now, does he need you to be athletic enough to do some bootlegs and probably shift and move around a little bit? Yeah, of course. You need that. But, if you gave Kyle Lamar Jackson, he probably would just go insane. He wouldn't know what to do. But
you think he'll adapt around him, though?
He would try. He would definitely try. Kyle's offensive mind is always expanding. I love it. But the issue is he doesn't. I don't think athletic black quarterbacks are his thing. They just aren't. I think the only quarterback that had that athleticism that he could have had that would have done something well and came out that he really wanted this guy, but we all know Dan Snyder loved him some RG3, and that was his pick. That was not Kyle or his dad's pick. Both of them were like, no, we don't want this dude. They wanted Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Just came out because Kyle looked at, and if you look at the way, if you look at Russ's style of play, it fits what Kyle does. Why? He's a great surveyor of the field. He knows what he's doing. He runs when he needs to run, and he doesn't take hits. So, it's just that's the craziness of it, man. But we got Darrell Luter Jr., which we've heard some good things about. And this kid did some good things while we were in OTAs and whatnot, and I think that works out well for him. Comes out of South Alabama. He's got 5 career interceptions. He had 4 in 2021 and only 1 in 2022. Doesn't have any sacks or anything like that. Looks like he kind of progressed in an upward trend each year as far as his tackles and whatnot. We've heard some good things about him. I feel like he has a better shot to make the squad. Plus, from the way that Steve Wilks is talking is kind of like one of his guys. So what do you think of Darrell Luter Jr.?
I like this kid. He has he has instinct for the ball. I watched him play a couple of games. South Alabama, South Alabama is not a big school like you got Alabama, but this kid has a sense for the ball, man. He's big body, he's 6 feet, 190. Can put some a little bit extra weight. Definitely a project, but I can see this guy growing into a very solid nickel corner, kind of giving Womack and run for his money there. And the beautiful thing is we don't need him to step in right away. I think he'll have an opportunity, and the fact that we have now we have Wilks back there that kind of specializes in the defensive back area. That'll be a great way to develop this young man. I'm excited to see what he can do, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see much of him this year. But I like this draft pick a lot.
Cool. Bashar says his athleticism is fine, but we have fucktard idiots that act like we said Trey had Lamar Jackson type speed with no fan, coach, or GM even said that. Yeah, that's definitely true, man. I never anticipated him to be fast. I anticipated that he would lower the boom on you before you did it to him. The way I saw him run at NDSU, he seemed to be the guy to try to initiate that contact. If it was him and that goal line,
he was running against defenders that are now teaching software somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like these dudes. Yeah, I mean, like his competition at NDSU, we all know was subpar. They don't play.
I'm not trying to take nothing away from Lance. I'm just saying.
But yeah, it's a situation that we all understand. So for me, I'm always stick to what I know, as far as that goes. But I like Darrell Luter Jr. as well. I think he's definitely a candidate to possibly make the squad. He seems to be leaning more toward making it rather than being on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
And then let me see. Next guy up on the list, man, my boy OG 49er. He loves him. He loves this dude, man. He's a UCLA guy, Quantrez Knight. That's my guy. Quantrez Knight didn't play really much. Didn't play at all last year. I think if we did see him, I think we saw maybe special teams or possibly anything else. I don't even think he played, period. But Quantrez Knight is DB out of UCLA. He's got the skills. He's got the moves. He just has to, fight to get on the squad. And I think with Steve Wilks here, he can help fine-tune some of the things that Knight may or may not be missing. You didn't really hear him talk too much about Quantrez Knight when Steve Wilks does interviews. But then again, no one really asked him about him. So what do you think of Quantrez Knight?
Man, I didn't watch too much tape on him. I watched a little bit on him from UCLA, but I liked it. I followed this kid on Instagram. I like the way he works. I like the way he puts his head down and is committed to his craft. I'm very hopeful. I think this will be the year that he needs to show that he can beat out someone like Luter or Womack. But he has good size, 6 feet, 199, 200 pounds, not bad. Can cover. And I think he was hurt last year or just why he didn't play much. But this training camp is going to be very interesting to watch these young kids battle that out because I want the best to bring the best out of Knight. And I think that Knight has a lot to offer this team. And if anybody can bring that out, it's definitely going to be Wilks. But let the competitions begin. But I'm very confident in this kid. I think this kid will impress a lot of Niner fans and believe those that don't believe in them. I think they'll become more believers by the end of training camp, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, man. I can tell you right now. I just looked up his. This dude just spent 6 years in college, and he was not necessarily the healthiest because his games per year. So he started out at Maryland. He went to Kent State, and then he went to UCLA. Maryland. This from 2016 all the way to 2021. Knight played 6 games, 7 games, 2 games, 11 games in 2019, 7 games in 2020. And 12 in 2021. So he's been around, and we drafted him last year. He only had 5 sacks coming out of college, so no interceptions at all. So I think he's got some good things about him. You know what I'm saying? Height and size right now, 6 foot, 200, about almost 200 pounds. So I think that works well, but he's going to have to go out there and show some things and make sure he can stay healthy, because to tell you the truth, you know, we already have too much of an affinity for injury prone players, and we don't need to add that anymore.
We need to move away from that shit.
Oh yeah. Now here we go. We got the question mark. And this is the biggest question mark in our defensive back room. And the reason being is because this guy all but fucking disappeared.
Oh, number 20?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Ambry Thomas. We all know who Ambry Thomas is. You know, for him having that literal slope of greatness. Like talk about worst to first. You know what I mean? First game he got cooked, he looked like trash. Next game he got better, and then he got better, and then he got better. And it just continued. And we were all like, okay, we might have found ourselves a little diamond in the rough. Next year comes, he all but disappears. And we're like, what the fuck happened to Ambry Thomas? Gets buried on the depth chart. We don't see much of him. If we do see anything, it's for special teams or he's playing in garbage time. You know, lost his spot to Diamondo Lenore. So there's a lot of things that are going on there, man. But I'm worried. I'm worried for him, because if he doesn't show up and show out, man, you're going to have guys that will come in and gladly take your spot without thought or care in the world. So I'm a little worried about him. I want him to get better. I want him to be able to make the team, because I like his height and his size, and he's got long enough arms to be able to make plays. But I don't know, man. It almost feels like he's on the outside looking in. What say you?
Yeah. You know, coming out of Michigan, Wolverine, you know, he was a great prospect coming out. Like you said, he came out hot, and then he kind of just floated away. And I always liked Lenore when we drafted Lenore in the 5th, and we drafted Thomas in the 3rd. You know, when me and my friend, he's a big Michigan fan. He's like, man, Michigan, Ambry Thomas is going to be great. And I'm like, this kid from Oregon, Lenore, Oregon doesn't produce good corners, blah, blah. And I'm like, that might be so, but this kid, Lenore, looks special. And the way that Ambry started, he started hot. So I'm like, man, maybe my friend has something here. But I stuck with Lenore, and I like this kid. But now that we drafted the people that we drafted, and then bringing Isaiah Oliver also as a free agent, I just don't see him making this team. I mean, he would have to go out and have the best freaking training camp of his life to make this team. And if he gets cut, he might make the waiver wire. I mean, he might make the practice squad. They might not even pick him up. So I like the kid. I hope he does do something, but I just can't see him battling it. Like you said, he's on the outside looking in with all the guys that we picked up, free agency and the draft. So we'll see what happens. But he's definitely heading uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, man. And you know, shout out to Breezy, man. That's his guy. That's one of his people, man. So, you know, he loves him, and he hopes that things work out well for him. So I hope that things work out well for him too, man. I would really love for him to be able to get out there and show us something, man. Because, like, honestly, when your back is against the wall and the chips are down, that's when you want to shine the most. Because you want people to look at you and go, you know what? We counted this dude out, but he showed us something. So
how do you face adversity, man? Can you come, like I said earlier with Brock, can you come back stronger? Are you going to wallow in it, or is it going to allow you to be, you know, look deep into yourself, look in that mirror and say, hey, what am I made of? What can I do in the NFL? Forget about my college career. Forget what I was there. What can I do to be impressive here? And he's going to have to look deeply within himself. And I'm rooting for the kid. I really am. But if I had to put money, I probably wouldn't. But I'm rooting for him, and hopefully he gets a chance. If not here, somewhere else. Yeah.
And see, for me, that's a set. That, honestly, you know what I want with Brock Purdy? The way I want him to handle his adversity, same way Trey Lance did.
Yeah.
When we lost that game in Arizona, albeit to the worst game plan I've ever seen Kyle call, he went up there and owned it. our previous quarterback, the trash that lives in Vegas now, couldn't own shit. And how is it that a young kid younger than you, I mean, and my biggest thing with that was you sat behind Tom fucking Brady. You didn't learn that? Like
age
nothing
is
at
nothing
all?
but a number, bro. It's all about how you were raised as a kid.
Yeah. And that shows that his dad was like, hey, you take responsibility for what you do. And if you go out there and you decide you're going to be the leader, when you win, you give the credit to everyone else. When you lose, you take the brunt of it. That's just how it works.
Yeah, my dad used to always say, look at your hand. Every time you point a finger, you're pointing 3 fingers right back at you. Take responsibility. Don't take the sissy way out. My dad, I did it twice, and I both got my ass kicked twice by my dad. He says, don't you ever blame anybody else for your decisions.
Yes.
You own your decision, up good or bad, and it's something that Jimmy unfortunately doesn't do. He'll sit there and put people underneath the bus quick, and young Trey owned it. I didn't think he threw that much at that game either because of his thumb, bro. Or that finger. You know what I mean? But Kyle, yeah. Kyle's good at many things. Managing a young mobile quarterback is not one of them so far.
Yeah, we all understand and know that. But Isaiah Oliver, next guy on the list, man.
Oh, I like this kid.
Yeah, he's been in the league for 4 years. From 2018 to 2022, he was with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
Looks like he's played pretty much most of the season, if not all of it, except for 2021. Looks like that was probably a season where he was injured because he only played 4 games. But he's got only 2 career interceptions, so that I don't like that. If you're a DB and you've been in the league 4 years, I'm gonna need you to have more than 2 damn interceptions, especially with the amount of time that you've been on the field. What's going on, Crazy Juice? What's up, John? My brother. But that's the thing. Like, you can't, when you're in the league, I love me a ball hawking defensive back. Hell, one of the greatest defensive backs that played both ways, mind you, back in the day. And he holds he still has the total interception record as Paul Krause. If you don't know who Paul Krause is, you better look him up. I'm gonna tell you, that is a cold fucking white dude. Paul Krause was cold to the motherfucker, and I like guys like your Ed Reeds, your Rod Woodsons, because they were ball hawks and they would get after it. This is why I love Wonga so much. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, guys who they don't want to knock the ball down. They want to pick it off and laugh at you as they take it back the other way. You know what I mean? And figuring it out, and that's basically what it is. What's Emiliano talking about over here?
What's up, Emiliano?
He said, I learned it from you, from watching you, Dad. I learned it from watching you. Jimmy to Kyle when it comes to talking about taking accountability or lack thereof.
yeah, the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. That's for sure.
That much is true, man. So Isaiah Oliver, what I'm saying, minus the fact that he doesn't have, the interceptions to kind of go with the time frame of his NFL career. Fairly solid DB, 6 foot 210. And I've heard some good things about him in OTAs and whatnot. And of course, he was brought in by Wilkes. Wilkes feels like this is another guy that could possibly take that slot position and do some good things with it. How do you feel about Mr. Oliver?
I like him for a couple of reasons. When he had those 2 interceptions, Atlanta was playing him a lot outside. He gets kind of lost on the outside. When he plays man, he gets kind of lost a little bit. He's more like a zone guy. But when they moved him inside to slot corner, that's when he started to thrive at that position. And then one of the things I like about Isaiah is that he's great anticipating the blitz. When they call his number for the blitz, one of the greatest things you can be as a blitzer is anticipating that ball off the ground and getting to that quarterback. One of the things that Steve Wilkes loves to do and is going to do in this defense is bring up that percentage. We only blitzed 21% last year under D'Amico, and he blitzed way more than Robert Saleh. There has been no team that Wilk has been with that has blitzed less than 30%. So
Oh
he's a,
wow.
he's a
Okay.
big blitzer, and Isaiah Oliver is very good at blitz. He's a big body. I like him in the slot because he's like you said, 6 foot, 210 pounds. He'll be able to take on the tight ends. He'll be able to take on those running backs. He's a great run stopper. So outside, not so much. Once he found his niche in the inside, he really started to find who he is and what he can do. And Steve Wilkes, and I know coaches usually say this about players, but he said that the Niners took the best free agent in slot corner in this year's free agency in Isaiah Oliver. So we'll see what he does. But the fact that he can anticipate on those blitz and the fact that we're going to blitz more is ideal for him. And I'm more confident, honestly, to stop a tight end or a running back with Isaiah than I ever was with KY Williams. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I like his size. I like his strength. He just got to put it together. But this will be his second year at corner, if I'm not mistaken, with us. So he
Mhm.
only has 1 year underneath him. So he's still growing, but he found his niche. Let's keep getting more out of him. I'm excited about this kid. I'm not
Yeah.
buying his jersey yet, but I do I,
Right.
I do have Kevin Coleman's though. So if he works out, I'm taking out that name and putting Isaiah
What
on
is
there.
it? So you get the little
I'm
tearaway on the
joking.
back
I'm
of the
making sense.
jersey. Yeah, no, I honestly, man, I've heard some good things about Oliver. So I hope that, what you're stating is true, that if he's that good in the slot, then, we got ourselves a nice little slot DB. Already been in the league a couple of years, understands that the league is fast and knows the game. So I'm not mad at that. Now, this is my guy. This is the guy that I want to win that slot corner job. And
Oh,
I
I
feel
know who you're
like
talking about.
I feel like there is no one better for him to wind up being with than Steve Wilkes. And that's Mr. Sam Womack III.
That's what I thought you were
That
talking
young
about.
kid is insane. He
He's a ball
has the
hawk.
he is a ball hawk. That is why I love what he does on the field. He's a ball hawk. He's a sure tackler, and for someone to be out there, man, in that slot position, you have to love, what he does, man. He played minimal time, and I think he still had 2 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. I'll look it up, but talk to us about Mr. Oliver. Not it's Mr. Womack.
Samuel, well, I like this out of Toledo. I watch
Yeah.
him play quite a bit. Even though he's impressed in the slot, this kid can compete with Lenore on the outside. This
Mm.
guy's great on the outside. I think he's better on the outside than he is in the inside, if you ask me personally. And the way he has his ball hawk skills, and he's pretty much a shadow on any receiver. And I love his heart. You've seen it last year in the preseason game. He was those 2 interceptions that he had, or three. It happened on the outside. He was covered, and he covered a couple good receivers. Um, this kid could be special. Yeah, he's a little bit undersized, 5'10", but I don't know, man. This kid, I'm very very excited to see. I think this kid's definitely gonna give Lenore a run for his money at that position. And I wouldn't be surprised later if Ward's money goes up higher if this guy and Lenore are not the two guys on the outside going forward after um, Ward. You know what I mean? But this kid's special. But I like him more on the outside than I do on the inside myself personally.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, I looked up his numbers. So he played 16 games, and he was mainly a special teams dude.
Yeah.
Obviously he's a great gunner on special teams. That's
Yes, he
another thing.
is.
He brings a lot of value with that. So he had 19. He had 19 total tackles. He actually had a tackle for a loss. He had 2 passes defense, and he actually had an INT, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. And for you to play on special teams and that's all you got in limited time, that's actually really good. And that
That's
bodes well
impressive.
for you.
Yeah.
It's very impressive because when you play on special teams, nobody necessarily expects a lot from you on the stat sheet. If you get anything, they're like, whoa, okay, well, hey, that's a bonus. You know what I'm saying? We got things wrong. What's going on, Dave? So I think that Sam Womack is going to have a fantastic training camp. And I think if he's smart, from the interviews that I've seen with Steve Wilks is one of those guys where if your play is so loud that he can't ignore it, he's going to pay attention.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing about him is if he sees the potential in you, he's going to invest time. And for me, if I'm Womack, I'm on him every hey, how's it going, coach? Yeah. Look, man, I'm here. I want to get better. You tell me what I need to do. I'll do it. I don't care whether it's special team, whatever. What's going on, Boss 100? So that's what I'm saying. Like guys like that, like you stick to, you find them, you glue yourself to them. Why? Because you already know that these dudes will allow you to be able to grow in the right way, and you're going to be on that field. So what does that wind up doing? Getting you paid.
That's right.
And that's the whole point of it.
Got to get your money.
You got to get that paper. So next guy up on the list, we'll go ahead and talk about him. Diamador Lenore. Diamador Lenore, coming out of Oregon, honestly was mentored by one of the greatest DBs, my favorite player of all time, Mr. Deion Sanders, who possibly, unfortunately, may lose his foot. Hopefully not. Let's hope that everything is okay. I keep him in my prayers. I don't necessarily like some of the comments that he's had since he come to Colorado. He's got a Coach K approach when it comes to his recruits. And while I understand him, his message could have been relayed a lot better. Because now to me, when you say stuff like that, like, oh, you have to come from a two-family home, you have to have this, you have to have that, like you're basically giving prerequisites that not everybody is going to have, along with the fact that you're going to miss out on some fantastic damn players by trying to put all these stipulations. Because there are some people that come from a one-parent home that are amazing human beings.
I think single-parent players are better because they were always fighting from the get-go.
Yeah, and they have that dog in them. It's instilled. They know they're behind the 8 ball. So, like I said, his message, he could have related a lot better. And that's unfortunate. But, either way, still my favorite NFL player of all time. And plus, my name being Deion, I got all the monikers that he had, and everybody would talk about me like that. I never played football, but, when I did play football with my friends and whatnot, it was normal. Hey, there's Neon Deion, whatever the case may be. But Demo was actually on the outside looking in when it came to, Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas came in, shine. Everybody was like, and Demo had came in that same moment, that same year, he had an interception. Yep. And then they just shut him down.
Yep.
And then we went over to Ambry. So it was like, all right. So we were all going, we don't know about Diamador Lenore now. We got to figure out what's going on. Next thing you know, this dude comes on in a full season, and you're like, oh, this is what we had? So Demo played all 17 games, 79 tackles. He had a sack. He had 6 tackles for a loss, 5 passes defense, an interception. You know what I mean? Like he had a damn good year. Yep. And he played very well for us in the playoffs. Oh, here we go. We got trash in the building, everyone. The garbage has arrived.
The lamb chops.
Yeah. But it's all good, man. They're welcome. Jim Everett the Great, on the real, man, get at me, because it's either going to be you or Rudy that I'm going to bring on this show and roast the fuck out of y'all, because I'm going to do a little crossover. We're going to talk about some things, you know what I'm saying? And hell, if you and Rudy want to go ahead and come together, me and Beto will take you on.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had, there's so many Niner people, right? Take your pick. You come get this smoke one way or another. Either way, Diamador Lenore gave us a fantastic year. He did great in the playoff. He looks like a star. He's earned his spot. How do you feel about Mr. Diamador Lenore?
He was my guy coming out of college. Like I said, me and my friend, he's a big Ambry Thomas, Michigan guy. And I like this kid. I watched his tape from Oregon. I like his swag. You got to have a swag, man. You got to have you got to believe in yourself, especially at the corner position. Because I don't care how good you are. You can be Deion Sanders. You're going to get burned.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get
burned from receivers. How you bounce back, do you allow that to bring you down, or do you have enough confidence in yourself that no matter what happens on the field, okay, I gave up this play, but just watch. On the next couple of plays, I'm going to make up for it. And that type of attitude, he has a dog in him. And towards the end of the year, he struggled at the beginning of the year, but towards the middle, he started getting better, and he finished strong. And in the postseason, he had 2 INTs back to back in the Cowboys and Seahawks game. And this kid has a nose for the ball. And I love that he's rocking number 2 now. Way better is going to look on him than it did 38. So, yeah, so I'm looking for. I like that way that 2 looks on him. And this kid, I love his swag. I love his the way he approaches his game. This kid is going to be. If you were excited about him last year with him at the end of the year, this kid's going to be, man. He's going to have a better year than Ward. And I'm not trying to knock nothing away from Ward.
Okay.
But this kid, I'm telling you, watch out for Lenore. You save the receipt, because by the end of next year, you'll be like, dang, Niner sickness. What were you talking about? I like this kid. This kid has a dog in him. He has a swag. And he's not going to give up that spot. He fought hard to get it. Now that he has it, he ain't giving it up to nobody without a fight. And I love that about him.
Beto?
Oh, my God.
First of all, it's not weather, it's Witherspoon.
You know what we called him, right? When he was with us?
Yeah.
A culo.
Look, man.
Because he was ass.
Let me tell you right now, okay? Jim, you are not about to throw me off like you normally do, because the crossover show that I do with the Rams is going to get very
spell weather.
My wife is going. My wife is probably going to be very upset with me because I'm gonna be very fucking loud. I'm not gonna I am not gonna hold back. Rams fans annoy the fuck out of me. They're worse than Cowboy fans, and I didn't think you could get any worse.
Jim.
Exactly. So, Ahkello Witherspoon, bro. Once he gets burnt, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
There is one simple place when you are on that field that you must be at peace at all times. It's in here.
And he's not.
The minute he get burnt,
he dwells in it. Yeah, he lives in there, bro.
Chaos. It's over. Yep. I can't. Oh my God! He completed a pass on me. What do I do? Oh, yep. Coach, I'm sorry. I can't play. I can't do it.
Can you imagine being a Rams fan?
Goals. So let me tell you this. You went from a top 5 BB in Jalen Ramsey.
That's where I was heading.
Top 5. He went to Miami.
Yep.
And you went from
this guy to replace him.
Witherspoon.
You went from the top corner to the bottom corner.
I am telling you right now, if you paid any attention, any fucking attention, while Ahkello Witherspoon was here with us, you know that dude is sometime. He's gonna, you know what Ahkello's gonna do to you? He gonna bring you up here because he gonna have a fantastic fucking game. You're gonna be like, damn, this dude is awesome. And then he gonna bring you back down to reality. Yeah. The only Niner fan that you will find that actually cares for Ahkello Witherspoon is Mike from Nothing But Niners. He is a Ahkello Witherspoon lover. That is his guy. And I don't mean that in that way, but
no, I know.
Dude.
Yeah.
He defends Ahkello at every turn. Okay? Jim, I'm being for real, bro.
I'm saving
whatever you're smoking, stop. Don't, whatever blunt they gave you, weed, crack, whatever, just don't do that. And you know what I'm saying? It's bad for your health. It's bad for your mental health. There's a lot of things going on with that. Ayuk would bake Witherspoon. He would bake him, bro. Like, I mean, it just, come on, man. Like, look at this. Hey, man, this is a dude you never want to get started. But I love him, man. He's my brother. John is my dog, man. You see, he said, I don't maybe 1,000 fans find their channel. Man, hey, look, man. John is my dog, bro.
Let's go, John.
It's my dude.
You gotta love him, man.
But moving on rapidly, man. The man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Mooney Ward. Doesn't like to be called Charvarius. He does like to be called Mooney. He prefers that. That's a family nickname. He has allowed all of us to call him such. Played every game, 87 total tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 11 passes defense, 1 interception, and a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Mooney had a great year, came in and did what he was supposed to do, man, and, stayed as healthy as possible and, gave us everything that we were looking for with him, man. And I'm very happy that he's our number 1 defensive back. That's another guy where I'm saying, like, his job is solidified. Mooney ain't going nowhere. You're not about to have none of these cats beat him out. The only way you're going to take Mooney's job is if all you do is just catch interceptions. It's literally the only way you're going to force your way onto the field. If you are that good, what's going on, Bebop? If you're that good, yeah, you might have a shot. But other than that, you're not taking this dude starting gig. It is what it is. I love what Mooney does. I love his tackling. I like his covering skills. I have to say the only thing that's lacking in our defensive backfield is speed. Probably the only thing. We don't have a guy that has that breaker like that can hang with Deshaun Jackson earlier in his career. And hell, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, even now, he's still fast as fuck. For him to be, up there, I think he's in his 30s now, but he's still pretty quick. So tell me what you think of Mr. Mooney Ward.
Oh, I love Mooney, man. I love when he got drafted by the Cowboys, or I think it was undrafted free agent, picked up by the Cowboys, and then he went over to the Kansas City Chiefs, and what he was able to do there, going against Patrick Mahomes in practices every single week, just developed his play. When we picked him up in free agency, a lot of people are like, "What?" They wanted that. I'm trying to think of the corner that went. I think he went to the Chargers that same year the Ward came to us, and he was a more profile name, bigger name.
Sante Samuel Jr.
No, he was a free agent.
J.C. Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. That's him. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, we should have got him." Ward, and I'm like, listen, Ward is not that guy that is going to look all great in his numbers on the stats, but he's consistent. He's consistent at his craft. He's there. He's like that silent assassin that you just don't like covering you, and he just displayed it all year. I mean, he had a great year. Like I said, everybody gets burned, no matter who you are, but it's how you conduct yourself afterwards. And this guy never lost a beat, never lost his confidence, always stayed confident in himself. He has a dog in him. And to me, it was the greatest corner pickup by us in free agency with this guy, because this kid is special. And he does his teaching with his style. He's not loud. He doesn't, talk a lot with this. He talks a lot with his action. That's the kind of character that I like. If you're going to talk your shit, but back it up. And this guy can back it up for the young ones, man. So I expect him. I still like Lenore a little bit more, just me being biased. But this guy, no doubt, I might fire it up for, man. I'm telling you, this secondary with that front four that we have going forward, especially if Mr. Jackson can do what we think he can do, holy shit, bro! I'm telling you, man.
Secondary. Look, I want everybody out there to hear me clearly. Sleep on Drake Jackson if you want to.
Oh,
go ahead, please sleep on him. I'm begging you, take a nap, because he gonna wake you the fuck up when he shows up and shows out. God damn it, the man led the league for all defensive linemen with passes defensed.
Yep.
And he barely played.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, man. I'm gonna look. Let me.
He had 3 sacks, and he barely played.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's insanity, and he's already back on track. So what people have to remember is what happened at the end of the season. Because Sarah said, "Hey, man, we shut you down for the last couple of games. When you coming back, I'll be back here." Oh shit. Okay, I like that. And what's he been doing all off season? Getting better and getting better. Put on some more muscle. He's still athletic as shit. I'm just telling you, like, in limited time, this is what Drake Jackson did. Drake Jackson played 15 games. That man had, let's see, where did I find him? Where he at? He had 14 tackles, He had 3 sacks. He had 8 passes defense and an interception.
Yep.
In limited time as a defensive end.
Yep.
That's what that young man did. So you just imagine him for a whole fucking season? Are you serious? His speed, his athleticism. Nick Bosa came out in training camp last year and said he's doing things I know I can't do.
Yep.
If you got Bosa saying he can't do it and you can, that says something. That says a lot.
And he has no reason to say that if he didn't believe in that, Nick Bosa.
And we all know Bosa. He way too cool for school. You know, he does this a lot. And when you ask him a question, he's very mellow. He's very calm. He speaks very softly. You know, we need to just do this.
Him and Mike Tyson, man, crack me up.
Like this, talking slow. Like, it's crazy because Mike has crazy power. But then you hear him talk, you're like, yo, this voice doesn't go with the power that I just saw in the ring. Makes absolute.
But
like, you
expect Mike to have like he always defend his voice.
Like, I mean, like you expect Mike to have like a Barry White ass voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, come out, yeah, you know, I would knock that motherfucker out. You know, next thing you know, Mike comes, yeah, you know, so I went in the ring, you know what I'm saying, and I wanted to take his fucking head off. You know, I went through, you know what I'm saying, and this shit happened. Like, you're like, what the fuck? Who is talking?
Yeah,
so it's always like that, man. But Drake Jackson is going to be a nightmare off that edge. I have told people a million times over, my comp for him is Dwight fucking Freeney. And I know that's very, very high praise. But Dwight Freeney was a smaller guy, and his bend and his dip was just absolutely disgusting. It was so hard to stop him.
I love Freeney.
Because he was small. But his speed and his compactness, that just all that together, it was a nightmare for tackles. It just was. It was like, how do I get this motherfucker when he's so damn low? And, you know, I mean, put like this, you get a 6'7" tackle.
It's over.
On a 6 foot guy, maybe 6'1". Come on now. It's just way too much leverage. So those are all our DBs. So we're going to cut to this segment, man. And Beto, I know you've seen it. It's called Get the Fuck Out of Here. Okay? These are the guys. We kind of look at them and like, yeah, no hope. So go back over the list. We can say stay, get the fuck out of here. Deshaun Jameson, sorry, you are a camp body. Get the fuck out of here.
I agree. Get the F out of here.
So AJ Parker, once again, camp body. Get the fuck out of here.
Out of here.
Darrell Luter Jr.
Oh.
You're okay. You can stay.
He can stay.
Quantrez Knight.
He can stay.
You can stay. Ambry Thomas. I don't want to do this.
Ooh.
Yeah. But you're on the outside looking in, young blood. Your status, your draft status is the only reason you are still on this squad. So if you don't show up and show out, you will get the fuck out of here.
Vete la chingada, güey.
Exactly. Sam Womack third. Oh, you gonna stay. Yeah, you gonna stay. You ain't going nowhere. Sam Womack third. You ain't going nowhere. Isaiah Oliver. You gonna hang out. You'll be here. And the only two people left are Demo and Mooney. We know they're staying.
Yeah.
So those are our guys. So unfortunately, AJ Parker, Deshaun Jameson, and Ambry Thomas, you're on the outside looking in. And you better do something. Because if you don't, you will get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I do have another question for you before we go ahead and get up out of here. On our schedule, what games scare you? And I'll bring it up right now because I have it. But what games are you like, man? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's my biggest thing. Hold on, why is it not going to what I want? Come on now. Let's go there. No, I don't want that. I want this, but I want to be able to share. Oh, that's what it is. Like a dumbass, I didn't hit present. No, not slides. Why is it not doing it? Should be allow me to. Oh, okay. There we go. That tab. Share. Perfect. Now we're good. Okay. Boom. Oh, let me bring the schedule back up. Booyah. There we go. Come on now. All right. So let's just run through the schedule and see what we think, man. Me personally, I feel like 14-3, probably where we land. Maybe even 13-4. A lot of people are a lot more optimistic. Me, there's a couple games that bother me. I'm honestly not afraid of Pittsburgh. And I'll tell you, it's not their offense does not scare me.
No, that's a bad offensive line.
Their defense bothers me. With Colt McKivitz out there and TJ Watt running around, that bothers me. So, like I said, how do you feel about that first game on Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm concerned from our offense standpoint against their defense. Mm-hmm. But their offense doesn't frighten me at all. Their offensive tackles are terrible. You think McKivitz, you're worried about McKivitz against Watt.
TJ Watt, yeah.
Their tackle needs to worry way more about Bosa and Jackson. And then we have to worry about that. So they have more issues on that. So this will be a W. I think they'll move they'll move the quarterback out of the pocket to try to help out McKivitz if he does show little signs of getting pushed over by Watt. And if he rotates over to the big silverback, I ain't worried about Watt. So, yeah, this game is definitely winnable. And it's a dub for me.
Okay. What's going on, Seahawks, Eddie? See, there are people like Seahawks Eddie, like Syjan, who are really cool Seahawks fans.
Yes.
They're really good dudes. Stevie A. Smith, too. That's really good Seahawks.
That's my boy, yeah.
So you have good people. It's just the Rams fans, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe because they're the only team in our division that have a title in a while, so they want to talk a little shit. Yeah, but they're still trash. So either way.
Rudy, as a friend, he's cool peeps.
When he get on this Rams shit,
he's annoying.
All right, so next game on the list is going to be obviously against the Lamb. That's a win. We don't even need to go in.
That's our first home game.
Yeah, that's an automatic win. It's the Lamb Chops. No one cares. So moving on. Now
this will be interesting.
New York Giants seem to have tried to put themselves together a damn football team. Richie James went there and magically resurrected his fucking career. I don't know what happened. But I'm still not afraid of the Giants. I'm sorry.
Their defense got better, but
their defense got better. But I'm sorry.
Really? Jones? Yeah, no. He doesn't put the fear of God in me. So our defense is way better than their defense. So
so we're already at 3-0, and we're going 4-0 because this next game is versus the Cardinals. They're a dumpster fire with their little.
How is that even going to be playing for the first 2 months?
Yeah, well, we got to be mindful, man, because I believe it's going to be Colt McCoy, and shit. The last time we played Colt McCoy, he kicked our ass.
Yeah, but our defense was. It was more of our defense shitting themselves than it was McCoy doing anything.
Yeah, so we're still good there. Now this game, I'm automatically calling dub on that. It's the Cowboys. Cowboys will definitely be a win. I'll give us a win there. Next game up is Cleveland. I'll give us a win there. I think Deshaun Jackson comes out and plays a lot better now that he's able to mesh with the team and do the things that he needs to do. But I don't see us taking an L there. Cleveland's they're not good enough. And then we go ahead and play, Kyle's man crush, Mr. Cousins. He's probably going to give him a hug.
Monday night.
So. Yeah. Oh, automatic win. You know why? Yeah. Kirk Cousins fails when the lights are on.
Exactly, bro.
He fails when the lights are on.
We light and bright on that one.
Oh, it is insanity. He fails miserably when the lights are on him. The next game. Now, this one bothers me, and it's the Bengals And it only bothers me because of old Joe Burrow over there, man, and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. Like that one, I'm a little worried. I'm actually a little worried on that one. What do you think about that game? Because that one, I don't know. That might be our first L of the season.
Listen, if Joe Burrow is one hell of a quarterback, man. This guy's good. That offensive line got better. Their defense is decent. We'll be able to stop the run for sure. It's going to be tough. This is a 50-50 in my honest opinion, but I do give the edge to the Niners, and this is not me being a homer. I think our defensive front is just so much better than theirs, and we're gonna, if we can disrupt Joe Burrow and make sure he's hearing or seeing ghosts. If for some reason our Darnold can share some of his ghosts on that day with Burrows.
Yeah, give him that bad juju.
Give him that bad juju. Yeah. They'll struggle, but if you let them cook, it's going to be a long day for the Niners for sure.
Definitely so, man. So for me, I actually have that as a loss, man. I think the Bengals squeeze one, get one over on us, man, and then we go ahead and I believe this our next one is our bye week, and then we'll go and play the Jags. Now the Jags have improved. They have improved. They're looking a little bit better. They made the playoffs. Like they're doing. I think that the progression is what Shad Khan would like to see. It's what you and Peterson being there is what you do. Like that. If you're an owner, your mindset with the new coach should be, I want you to just keep going up. Just keep going on an upward swing. If we were 2-14 last year and you get us to fucking 6 and 10, I'm okay with that. You know why? We won 4 more games we did last fucking year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like certain teams have to, even though I always say that any and every team's idea and goal should always be Super Bowl every year, some teams have to be realistic. And the Jags have to be realistic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Quite there yet.
Yeah, they're not quite there yet, but I think it's going to be a little more competitive than we anticipated.
Oh, definitely.
But I'm still going to call that a win. What say you?
Yeah, same here. The only way that if the Niners come in one of those mentality, let's go ahead and move on and look further than them, they can get caught with their pants down, and you don't want that. You don't want to give Trevor Lawrence an opportunity to cook. I'm a big Clemson fan, so I followed him when he was there in college. He's a great quarterback, but they're missing some pieces on defense. I think the Niners are pro. They're coming off a bye. They'll have 2 weeks to study these guys. We'll definitely get a win there. But they got to be careful because this can be one of those sneaky
that trap
games. Yeah.
Next game is versus the Bucs. That's an automatic win. We don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. Their offensive line is shit, and they're just in flux right now. I don't think they're going to give us any type of problem. Now here's another game that's a little bit of a question mark. The Seahawks have gotten a little bit better on defense, just a little bit better. They have, and hell, we had some battles with them last year. And shout out to Gino for getting paid, and doing this thing.
Can't hate that.
I think, honestly, this is probably the only divisional game that we lose. Other than that, we go 5-1 in the division. I do believe that if we drop a game to anybody, it's going to be the Seahawks. It won't be the Rams or the Cardinals. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. We are going to drop a game to the Seahawks. It won't be the one in Seattle. It'll be the one at home.
Okay.
When we'll get to, I'll give you my reasons, but I think the Niners will handle their business in Seattle. But you're right, Seattle, Geno Smith, hey, he got his bag. Whether you like him or not, I like players that, they work hard, they keep their head down, and they earn their money. So I don't like him because he's on that team, but as a player, I love that he got his bag. They got better. But I don't think they're quite there this year. I think in about another year, they'll be in better contention. But we'll win this game because we're going to eat turkey on their 50-yard line.
Oh
And
yes.
and I wanted to be Debo and what's his name, Lenore,
Oh yeah.
on that. Those
Oh
two
yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
or Fred Warner.
We got to pull a Sherm like he did to us. So the next game on the list is going to be the game that we all want to see. They're no longer the Philadelphia Eagles, they're the Philadelphia Bulldogs because they drafted everybody and they mama from Georgia.
Yeah.
So this one, I forget who says this. But this is going to be a good old fashioned slobber knocker. Like
they lost both of the coordinators. They have new coordinators on both sides.
This one is going to be revenge to the fullest, and I can tell you right now, this is a game that Brock Purdy has circled.
Oh yeah,
he has it circled, and I can tell you, if Brock Purdy is our starter, he is going into this, and he is putting aside his faith, and he is going to channel his inner demons, and he is going to unleash them on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm telling you right now,
be plucking some birds.
Yeah, and if he doesn't do that, then he's gonna be like Michael the Archangel and whooping a whole lot of ass. Okay.
Not just Purdy, bro, but I got a feeling that Mr. Hargrave is gonna be like,
hey, that's a good game for him.
I can never touch Hurt in practice. Couldn't
now
touch him.
I get to get him.
Now I get to wrap him. Yeah, and he's gonna remind them that he was the guy there.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell them, you're going to miss me. So he'll be reminding them.
Yeah. Now that one there, man, that's another game that scares me. I'm unsure of it. Like, I don't know. Because they improved. They continually improved. Yes, the loss of Hargrave is a big loss. And I know that's going to be probably one of the most hard fought games of the season. And I know that Debo and BA are going to want to just cook everybody on that team because that's what Debo was talking about. He said the only person he respected was Slay in that defensive backfield. Everybody else was trash. He was like, "What about Bradbury?" Debo emphatically said trash.
Yep.
He's like, BA was going to cook him all night. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, you getting a little Debo-ish. I need you to calm down, sir. Talk shop here. Yeah, I don't need you to get all upset. So the next game after that is Seattle again. You call our home game the loss. So I'll roll with you on that one. I'll roll with you that we take an L at the house versus that. And then we got the Cardinals again. Now, Brian says don't sleep on the Cardinals. Here's the reason why I'm falling all the way asleep on the goddamn Cardinals. You know why? They just got a head coach that nobody knows anything about. Did anybody know who the fuck this dude was before?
You don't even know.
I don't even think he knew who he was. And the other reason that I'm sleeping on the Cardinals is because typically when a new head coach comes in, what's the first thing they want to do? Get their guy. Oh. And they are stuck with Kyler Murray. They have no option. Ain't nobody picking up that goddamn contract because nobody would have paid that little short dude that kind of money. That's just how it works. And people, Kyler Murray is nowhere near 6 feet. I've stood next to him. I am literally 5 feet 6 inches. Kyler Murray is maybe 5'8", 5'9" at best, if that. Like, it's a stretch, bro. It's a stretch. They give him way more height than he is anticipated. Plus, he dressed weird anyway. I ain't never seen nobody look so dumb in a lime green fucking pantsuit or some shit. He just looked ridiculous.
Remember when the Niners hired Jim Tomsula to be the head coach because they wanted to kind of buy a year to wait until the next coach was available? They couldn't get who they wanted, so unfortunately they went with Jim Kelly. That's a whole different story. But I'm thinking the Cardinals are doing the same thing. They got this cat from Philly, kind of a stand-in year, maybe not win that many games, and because next year's quarterbacks, oh my goodness, they're going to be good. And you're right, every GM wants their own player, so I don't think they're going to win that many. I'm not worried about the Cardinals at all. The Niners are definitely coming. They'll be plucking those Cardinals. They don't. Murray doesn't know if he wants to play. Buddha Baker doesn't want to be there. Isaiah, forgot his.
Isaiah Simmons, they moved him to safety.
Yeah, they moved to safety because he wasn't that good as a linebacker. They're just a mess. They lost their best pass rusher, retired. The other pass rusher that was decent
Yeah, that was Allen, Zach
He
Allen.
left.
Hey, man.
They have no press rush.
I would have loved for him to come hang out with us.
Oh, so did I.
like
I wanted
that
him.
kid. He had a lot of talent, a whole lot of talent, man. When I saw because he played us really well.
Yeah, he
did some good things against us. And I pay close attention. When somebody wrecks us, I'm like, who are you and how are you doing it? And are you consistent at that? Because I know I had the greatest defensive line coach of all time in Chris Kasarik. Like he's ridiculous. I liken Chris Kasarik to Jim Tomsula. Tomsula was great with that defensive line.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was a mastermind. He ain't no good at coach. But you put him with them cats on the line, he gonna get everything you need out of them dudes. Same way Kasarik is.
Chris Kasarik's smarter than Tomsula, though. The only fact is he knows his role. He knows this is where I'm good at. I don't even want to. He doesn't even want to be a defensive coordinator, much less a head coach. Not that he can do it, but he knows.
He just doesn't. Yeah, that's not his thing.
Yep.
Some guys are comfortable doing certain things, and you get that. You know what I'm saying? Like you understand it. I'm one of those people. Like, yeah, I understand it. Hey, you don't want to have because it's a lot of pressure being a head coach.
Yep.
It's a lot of pressure, long sleepless nights, and I mean, honestly, even when you retire, you still think like a head coach.
Yeah, it's not all about the glory, man. It's about the sacrifices these people put in.
Yep. So the next game up on the list is going to be Baltimore. Oh, and really quickly on Arizona, you don't think Steve Wilkes wants to get in that ass for that bullshit they pulled with him?
Yeah.
Giving him they screwed Steve Wilkes royally, man. They didn't even give him an opportunity to try to build a team. Oddly enough, the only 2 wins his ass had that year were against us. It was very unfortunate, but they never even gave him a chance. So I know in his heart of hearts, he's looking at him going, yeah, I'm here.
Payback's a bitch.
Payback is a bitch. And I mean, I know that it's crazy when you have, because he'll probably say what's up to Buddha, because Buddha was one of his guys, and he loves him some Buddha Baker. Even though Buddha wants out, he ain't gonna stop. He's not going to be a holdout kind of guy. He's going to go out there and earn his paycheck.
And he's a competitor.
He's a competitor.
Once the season starts, it's a whole different thing. Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, I felt bad. Every now and then I would catch him on Hard Knocks, and I would feel horrible because why? He is not happy.
He's trapped.
He's like, bro, I'm tired of fucking losing. We got to do something. So I understand it, And yes, happy 4th to everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Please be safe. If you're popping fireworks, you know what I'm saying? Be careful.
Yeah, the only thing that I like about the coach that got fired with Cardinals is that because he was hired as a head coach there at the time.
Oh yeah, he wasn't supposed to be no damn head coach. No. There was no resume that he had built that said he should be a head coach.
The reason they brought him in there because they wanted to go to Colin Murray and he was the best one to. But I'm okay with that because if it wasn't for that, Nick Bosa wouldn't be doing what he's done for us.
Very true.
If it would have been a different head coach, he wouldn't. If Wilkes still would have been there, guess where Bosa would have went number 1 to the Cardinals. So
yeah, because the Cardinals had they not picked up what was his name? What was that ex-coach? I don't even remember his fucking name. But either way, they were saying if they would have drafted him, he would have been a stand-up outside linebacker.
Oh, wow.
And that's not what Nick Bosa is. He's a defensive end. You know what I'm saying?
On that note, bro, real quick, Clelin Ferrell, because again, I'm a big Clemson.
Ferrell, yeah.
He is an outside guy that puts his hand on the dirt and just pins his ears, go after the quarterback. The Raiders put him as an outside linebacker to cover tight ends. He's not great in coverage.
That's not what he does. Yeah,
he looked bad under Chris Kasarik. Watch this cat. This cat is going to be something else because this guy's good.
Yes.
But I'm more excited about Austin Bryant, and I know this is DB show, but
no, it's all good.
I'm a big guy, and I like the front, and I'm a defensive guy, so I like when these guys go eat. But Clelin Ferrell, don't sleep on him either.
Okay, we'll definitely see what we got with him. So the next game up on the list, this one I have us unfortunately taking the L, and it's versus the Ravens.
We have bad luck against the Ravens.
I'm gonna tell you right now, there's 2 things. Number 1, Lamar got some goddamn receivers now.
Yeah.
Lamar actually has some viable fucking receivers. He's never had that his whole career. He now has that viable receiving threat. So you're going to see that offense change. It's not going to be, oh, I'm throwing to Mark Andrews, or I'm going to run the ball, or one of these 50 running backs that we have are going to run the ball. They're going to start putting the ball in the air. And Lamar's going to put the league on notice and remind them, you guys wanted me to be a running back or possibly even a wide receiver. I told y'all dumbasses I was a quarterback, and I'm going to show you why. And at the same time, we suck with mobile quarterbacks. We just do. That they are our Achilles heel. It drives me insane, and I hate it. But honestly, this one is an L for me, man. I don't see us being able to contain that dude. If we do win this one, then yeah, it's nice. But I don't see that happening. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry. I got thrown off by Bebop. He says, I'm not Uncle Sam. I thought he said, I'm not Uncle Tom. I'm like, I thought I would.
No, he says, I'm Uncle. No, he says, it says, I'm Uncle Sam.
Oh, I am Uncle. Okay, then I'm the one that screwed up all the way. I got to put the weed down. I got to put the weed down before I do shows. But Bebop's my boy. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I can't. I love this cat. I love that he got paid. Good for him. Lamar Jackson is one hell of, this whole thing that he can't throw that accuracy is an issue. I don't know what they're watching. This guy's accurate. He just didn't have the receivers. Now with the receivers that he has, he's going to show the world that what he can do. And he's very effective with his running. And you got to put receivers on this guy, because I don't care how good of a runner you are, that eventually is going to slow down with age. You want to perfect being out of the pocket better, because I don't care how old you are. Look at Tom Brady. If Tom Brady was a runner more than a pocket pass, he would have never lasted this long.
No.
He would have been gone out of the league a long time ago. So running is great, but I love pocket passes better because they last longer. And this kid can throw out of the pocket. I love Lamar Jackson. I think this guy, when the Ravens came back in the first round to take him, I'm like, freaking Ravens, they did their homework, and he hasn't disappointed. But yes, I have a loss to this team as well. Plus, I don't know, we have a dark cloud or a purple cloud, if I will. That are the Ravens. We just can't beat them.
Yeah.
When was the last time we beat the Ravens?
I don't know. It's been a while. I can check, but I don't know. It's
been years, bro. It's been further than 2012. I tell you that much.
And the next game we got is Washington. That's a dub. I don't see us having problems with Washington. I think the only person that's going to probably have a good game against us with Washington is Terry McLaurin, just due to his speed and him being able to get open. But I still call that a dub for us. The final game of the season is versus the Lamb Chops, and that's.
Check this out, bro. We're going to set out our starters. Okay, by this time we're going to set out our starters. And we're still going to kick the Rams' ass with our back.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you what, we're going to have all the starters out. It's going to be Brandon Allen out there quarterbacking. And he's going to look like an old pro against those.
I'm going to tell you right now, man. It won't be Allen. It won't be Allen. Allen going to be on the practice squad. It's probably going to be Darnold.
Then Darnold. Yeah, Darnold will look like a Hall of Famer against Akulo out there.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. And this is just another quick question for you. What if Purdy isn't able to go? Lance plays. And unlike our past where we normally start off slow, say Purdy, we're gonna put you on the 4-week, but we're 4-0. We're rolling. Lance throwing touchdowns. There's no problems. Looks like the guy we wanted. What happens? Do you say
that's an easy answer? Kyle Shanahan, if you know anything about freaking Kyle, he rolls with a hot hand. I don't care what position you're in. If you're hot, he rolls with you. He don't give a shit what your name is, where you got drafted. If you're hot, you're hot. And if Trey is hot doing his thing, Brock Purdy, we might be thinking, when is Brock going in? He can care less when he goes in. He's riding the hot hand until he sees something different. Like the saying goes, if it ain't broke it, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. And that's Kyle. So Kyle has a lot of flaws, but that's not one of them. He goes with the hot hand. And so if Trey takes off and winning 4 games, I don't care. I mean, Brock can be jumping up and down and put me in, coach, and go, shut up. We'll put you in later. Listen. I love Brock. I support Brock because I like what he did, but I'm not one of the guys that's going to call Trey Lance a bust. Those are idiots. You can't be a bust with a few games. And if this is me, and I've said it, and I'll always say it, if you get the best out of Brock or the best out of Trey is better positioned to give us more wins because Trey can do more than Brock can. Brock is limited. Brock is going to be a great quarterback, but he can't get taller unless he puts on stilettos back there. He's not going to get taller. Okay, his arm could get a little bit stronger, but it'll never be as strong as Trey. Yeah. And that's just anybody that says otherwise. I don't know what you're watching or what kind of knowledge you have. Apparently, you don't know football. The best out of Trey, the best out of Brock. Trey will always be better, can offer you more. Now, a mediocre Trey or Brock playing good, I'll take Brock anytime over the arm and the height of Trey, if that's all he has to offer. But if Trey can offer him beyond just his height and his arm, then I'll take Trey all day, every day.
Yeah, and see, for me, I gotta agree. If we 4-0 and you about to come back, you're gonna come back and sit on the bench, sir. I'm not about to stop this because in that process of that 4-0, I guarantee you there were a couple of Danny Gray bombs, maybe a couple of Brandon Ayuk bombs as well. And this fan base can be as mad as they want, but nothing quells the screams of a fan base like winning.
Yep. Win fixes
everything. If you're going, we want Brock. Okay, you may want Brock, but I'm sorry. We just went 4-0 with the guy who's been out here throwing bombs and giving us, 300-yard passing games and several touchdowns. Yeah, I don't see a reason why you want me to go back to someone who can't do what he's doing right now.
People just need to get out of their feelings, bro. At the end of the day, is which quarterback gives you the best option to win. They asked me you must hate Lance. I said I don't hate Lance. I wanted Lance to come here. I don't even hate Sam Darnold. Yeah, USC. And am I saying he's going to be a Hall of Fame? No. But if he starts proving me wrong or starts proving people wrong that he's from USC and he sucks and he starts playing good and this guy just takes off, I'll back him up. I'll support him. Yeah. I just want any team. I want any quarterback that is able to help my team out. I don't care who you are. It's about the name in the front, not the name in the back.
Exactly.
Now, I do want Trey to get his opportunity. Okay. Like if Trey's available week 1 and so is Brock, and Brock has been truly cleared, none of that he's been, when I mean truly cleared, it means he came like 2 or 3 weeks before the season starts and he's able to practice. Then I'm going with Brock only because of what I've seen. I don't want to go on potential or what could Trey do. But if Trey starts and even if he doesn't win, even if we win the game, but not really by Trey, but Trey does enough to move the ball, I still want to continue with Trey. The only time I remove Trey is once those Owls start stacking up. Then I kind of I'm sorry, Trey, we got to move on. But if we get a W on defense and Trey struggle a little bit, I want to see Trey next time because we already got the W. So the only thing that concerns me are the Owls, not necessarily how good or bad Trey does in week 1.
Yeah, and see, I can partially agree with you. If it's Brock or Trey, I could see a 15-2. But Sam and Brandon, I don't know about all that. Brandon Allen ain't impressive.
He's sorry. Just a backup, bro.
He is a practice squad guy. He's not
to be MVP.
He's not going. You know what I'm saying?
We'll be sitting here like, oh, shit.
All right, fuck it. I'll take it. But I just have to say that it's for me now. Okay, now this I don't think this has ever happened in the history of the NFL, and I doubt it's going to start. Yes, Jake Moody could kick 60-yard field goals every goddamn game. He still wouldn't get Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year is always for quarterback or receiver or running
position
back. It's never for anything else. Special teams don't get that kind of love. We would love it. We would like it. But it's not gonna happen, man. It's just not gonna happen. So, thank you, Beto, for coming and hanging out with me, man. We had the hour and 30-minute mark. We talked about these DBs. We told a couple of cats they had to get the fuck out of here. I'll be back more with some more shows. I'm gonna set up some things, try to get them going over the next week or two. Get in touch with a couple of people from different spots. I think the Seahawks thing should be cool. I'll get Steezy for that. I gotta holler at one of my guys to see if I can get one of the Cardinal guys on. I'll probably see if I could get Smitty to come hang out with me for a little bit.
If you need backup with a Cardinal guy, let me know. I know one that when I was doing my thing, he's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Cardinals, so as a backup for you.
Yeah, because I'll tell you right now, the structure of that show is just gonna be us doing a compare and contrast on the squad and our position groups. And toward the end of that show, I'm gonna create another segment. It's gonna be called Shit Talking.
Oh, I love that.
I want that Cardinal fan to talk as much shit. I want him to shit on my ticket. I'm gonna do the same goddamn thing about him and his short ass quarterback.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're fighting a 5-year-old. You want to feel like you're fighting a full grown man by talking shit back.
Yeah. Exactly. And people remember when I say shit talking, it's all in good fun. Ain't nobody gonna take none of this serious.
Nothing personal.
It's nothing personal.
Shit about the team.
It's just it's what you do and it's what makes the show go. Like everybody loves a good shit talking session. Everybody loves that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love going back and forth with people and whatnot. Jim Everett comes into my chat and I talk all kinds of crap to him and whatnot. And I know he loves it. He gets a rise out of it. Even Rudy, when he stops through in the chat every now and then, it's all love. Like I said, probably great
have fun, bro. You can't
great people.
You can't take things personal.
Fun. Yeah, and if you're a person that doesn't know how to shit talk and not go crazy, work on that. Because it can be fun. It can really be very, very fun. I am born and bred Los Angeles, California. I do not like the Lakers at all. Never liked them. I respected Showtime. I respected your Kareems, your Magics, your James Worthys, your Byron Scotts, your AC Greens. I respected those dudes. But that didn't mean I like damn team. Tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Bulls fan. I've been a Bulls fan. I'll stay a Bulls fan. I'm not going to change that. Doesn't matter whether we win, lose, or draw. You know what I'm saying? We would have won all them titles in the 90s had Jordan not retired. But, that's a story for another day. But
it was because of Pippen.
Oh, God. Don't get me started on Scotty. Don't. This dude just, I don't know what happened, but he got to get out your feelings, sir. Got to get out your feelings.
He's hurt. Yep.
You're hurting right now.
Yep.
And you need a hug.
He's never been out of
I ain't going to do it.
shadow.
Somebody do it. Yeah, it's Scotty out there. He hurt in ways you can't imagine, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, It Is What It Is, Cameron and Murder Mace. If you have not watched that is actually a fantastic show. I love it because they bring guests on and they talk like we talk. They shit talk. You know what I'm saying? They hit the pause button like hard all the time, everything. And people that gave them shit for that, but it's a little bit different. But either way,
shut up, Tommy.
Wait. Tommy always has to come in, bro. With he is. He is. Tommy gonna come in and say some bullshit automatically. Like he literally comes in.
How many titles does the Bulls have?
We had 6. All 6.
How many titles does the Lakers have, Tommy?
I think y'all got 18, right?
17.
17. Yeah.
So
look, he.
No, I'm not gonna argue the Jordan. Jordan was the GOAT. Okay.
Jordan was the GOAT.
He was the GOAT. I like to mess with people and say LeBron is better, but that's just.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I want to rough the fat, huh?
Magic was one of the greatest passers of all time.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
like Kareem.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Watching what he did on the court when he would pass that ball, the no looks, the fakes, all that. Magic was a cold motherfucker.
Yep.
He was cold, bro. He was so cold.
So you can hate teams. Like I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but I like certain players. You can't hate the player for,
I can't be mad at Emmett.
This is me.
I can't.
If a player gets under your skin, that's because he's good at what he does. Because I guarantee Nick Mullins got on nobody's skin. unless you were a Niner fan
Uh-huh.
and you hated him because he was losing games for you. But ain't no other team hating Nick Mullins. So if you hate a team like Emmitt Smith, it's because he ran all over our ass.
He did. Okay. Now we'll end the show with this. Most hated football player of all time for you. Go. Just can't stand this fucking guy. Like he just, when you think of him, you're like, oh, who's that guy?
Dang, bro, man, I don't know. Dang, talking about putting somebody on the spot.
I can tell you right now, for me, I'll go. It's Shannon Sharpe. I hate Shannon Sharpe. I hate him. I don't know why. I just hated him. I just didn't like him. There was something about him that just didn't. I'm not saying as a person because I don't know him as a person, but as a player,
no, we're talking about the player.
And him. I don't know why. I hated Shannon Sharpe. I truthfully fucking did. His brother, Sterling, loved him. Great receiver. But Shannon, nah, man. Not just as a player, no. Didn't like him. And he was a great tight end. He was definitely a great tight end.
I guess for me it would have to be Russell Wilson. Because he's like a freaking thorn, man. It's like he even did it with us. He was with the Broncos. Lousy ass year. They lost everybody except he beat our ass. It's like son of a, it's like, but yeah, hate's kind of a harsh word, but I hear you. I dislike him very, very much.
Yeah.
But that's something
I
would really have to think about that. That's a good question. But to put me in this, because I'm pretty sure that I hate somebody much. I just can't think of that individual. I bet you after the show, I'll be like, oh, no. I hate this guy more than I do Russell. But for now, it's Russell because I can't think of anybody.
He was a thorn in our side for so many years, man. Yes. God, he was annoying, And one thing I give Russ credit for is even though he's probably one of the most square motherfuckers you'll ever see in your life, he definitely is unfortunately just not one of the cool guys.
What do you think about his wife? You think his wife's hot?
But us here, nah, not my type, man. I like a thick woman. You know what I'm saying? She's pretty, but she's too small. She can put on some weight. You know what I'm saying? I need a thick woman, man.
So between her and Beyonce, there's no.
Winning. Please, no. I go with Queen Bee all day. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all so much.
Had fun, brother. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming through and hanging out with me. These shows are always much funner when you have someone to bounce ideas off of and ask things. Why
you have to use the word bounce on a fat guy?
This guy. Oh, man, you know what I meant, man. But hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. TJ, I appreciate you. Yeah, he did, man. And this is the reason why I hated him. This is the reason why I couldn't stand him. And yes, we all know that unfortunately that young man had to disappear from the Bay after his 2 years of transgressions.
Oh my God!
This is what I'll say about
between him and Pettis.
Yeah, I felt bad for Kyle Williams only because, his life was really in danger. Like, this is not a game. His life is really he couldn't walk the streets of the Bay without somebody knowing you, the person that fucked up.
Yeah.
He literally had to leave, and I think he went to ASU. So he came back to Arizona. I know he's here somewhere. I don't know, but
we were winning that game, bro. We were heading to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
man. Go and let it touch him.
Yeah. But thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody, stay up, stay faithful, stay blessed. Be back with another show. Peace.